In this point, Cota Rica from Rimini work the disc up against Sieben Schwaben's zone. Their initial spacing lays the groundwork for what's to follow. Pay particularly close attention to number 71, who follows his initial throw to offer an immediate return pass. Then he does a break mark throw and go move to really begin the attack. 2 more quick passes later and he receives the disc back, doesn't waste any time looking downfield, then executes a flick throw and go move to get the disc back in the space outside the end zone. Doesn't spend any time or energy on a pivot or a fake, and he slots it into his teammate for the goal.
And a slice and dice. Exactly, and that's just what frustrates Cups too. Just kind of that dribbling. They can't really get into position. They can't mark. It just keeps going and going and going. And as you can see right here, it finally paid off where Cota Rica just had the time to kind of think in the end zone and get a nice window for the score.
This clip begins with an insane play. Check it out. A great layout tipped D from Sieben Schwaben. The Cota player doesn't give up and takes off from inbounds to grated it back in, where his teammate makes a full extension layout into the backfield to keep possession. After catching the next pass, they immediately punish the bid from the defense with a give-go, before calmly finding the space at the front of the end zone for the goal.
For a nice throw back in for a nice diving crab. Cota Rica still has it. Oh my goodness, folks.
That was ludicrous.
That was insane.
I appreciate that I'm supposed to be a bit more eloquent than what? To just work it in for a score like nothing ever happened. Ludicrous.
And as you can see here too, with the excitement between Benji and I, it's just the greatest is such a difficult move to pull, and then also to have all aspects right. You have to stay in bounds before you jump. You have to make sure you have a decent throw to catch, and you also have to make sure, especially in these wind conditions, that it can stay up. So that's just something to beauty right there. Oh my goodness. That's Cota Rica picking it up easily.
Yeah, there's more nuance to putting than just bang it as far as you can.
Precisely. Especially when you want to set up this nice zone defense as well too. You can kind of have some time to kind of put players in positions.
Cota Rica apply a few principles we love to make their play against zone a joy to watch, following their passes and keeping the disc moving whenever they can, using triangles and equal spacing around the disc to provide close options and to keep the tempo. They're not afraid to slot the disc through small spaces on low stalls, and the stall count rarely gets above 3 seconds, except for this one time when some good pressure is applied to the reset, but they still manage to find the hole.
Which is very interesting, yeah.
I like it.
As we can see here, Cota Rica just continually dribbling.
Pay attention to number 71 now as he creates the score. He doesn't hesitate to move the disc with a flick throw and go move, so he can receive a return pass attacking forwards through the middle. The bid by the defense is immediately punished, again with a throw and go move to get the disc back in his hands, at which point the goal is inevitable. Cota Rica work the disc around patiently at the back for a while, until a gap opens up for a scoober. Critically, after catching the scoober, they take the first open pass, and this player is facing downfield, so they already have an idea of what the rest of the space looks like. There's enough separation that the rarely seen high-release flick lead past lift throw is actually the perfect throw for the job. Cota Rica's variety of throws and their smooth throw and go technique across the board really sets them apart from other teams.
I'm right there as we look at the left-handed flick too, to space.
How can you not love that?
Exactly.
This attack begins with one of my favourite moves. Everyone's expecting number 71 to continue the flow of the disc and swing to the far side. In fact, every player on the field is moving towards that side, but he fakes it and runs a throw and go to the opposite side. The defense stopped the initial return pass, but it rips a hole in the wall big enough for the next option to get the disc. Then there's a pretty big travel, which I'm not sure why it wasn't called. I think he was trying to catch the disc in the air as he took a big step towards the gap in the defense, but he doesn't quite get the timing right and definitely accelerates after catching. Cota make good use of this ill-gotten advantage, and once they get moving, they're hard to stop.
And they're dribbling. They're going with it.
Bit of a sketchy last pass to lead the receiver away from the defender, but a relatively comfortable left-handed catch to tow it in for the goal.
And it's a goal.
As you can see right there too, it was kind of nice, as you can see right after it, as he threw that, he kind of leaned back just like, I got this. Shoot.
And that'll be 11-6 now.
Cota Rica field the pull and get into a rhythm in the backfield looking for an opening, with the throwers making slash cut throw and go moves across the front and immediately supporting by occupying the spaces that are left behind. The The breakthrough happens when the spacing downfield is looking really nice, and the thrower manages to receive a dinky return pass inside the cup. This opens up a gap and leads to a flurry of quick passes in flow.
A little bit of dribbling.
Throughout the rest of the possession, no player holds the disc for longer than 3 seconds. The catchers are often given quick layoff options. Most players follow their throws looking for return passes. Every player seems completely comfortable looking for quick passes, and they all stay connected, so they are constantly providing a multitude of throwing and continuation options. As soon as some space opens up in the end zone, they take advantage of it for the goal. This point is a clinic, which shows how maintaining connections with good spacing and having every player ready to receive quick passes leads to really nice and solid looking offense against a loose zone. The spacing between the Cota players is kept so regular throughout the possession that it never feels like the thrower is running out of options. Every player is looking to receive the disc with their hips facing the thrower, and they're happy to hit the small spaces through the middle when they're on. A bid from the defense on one of these passes through the middle is all that's needed to open up the attack, and in 3 rapid passes, Cota have eaten up half of the field to score the winning goal. It can be easy to look good when playing against a loose zone like that, but for me the Cota Rica's style, their technique and the consistency that they had with their spacing and with their throwing go moves really set them aside from other teams, and I'm excited to see more games from this young team in the future. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you again soon.
Exactly. Cota Rica Grandes ends the game on a nice slice and dice through the Sieben Schwaben zone, and that ended 15-9.